A lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Juju, there's definitely a positive spirit about that man. You know, I know you know this story, but he was asked in training camp by a fan to sign his head next to a tattooed Steelers logo.
Not a piece of paper on his head.
No.
Sign his head.
Sign his head. And then later Juju told reporters he'd give game tickets. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 10 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. 30, 10, touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in, but the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo gets this one left side to Pettis. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
13. Hey, shoot.
From the 17, Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd and short.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. Sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Here we go.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and inches, Garoppolo. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape. As they get it up past the 30.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
All right, now, 180.
Mike 54. You rush. Slam.
Beat these 2. Slack it, run.
Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Here we go. 180. 2. 21.
Garoppolo gives to Breda. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinator.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin as the first half is winding down. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late in the half scores.
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Like 80.
Right there, 54 Mike. Get ready.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24.